Hey, I hope you're having a great day and welcome back to English. Okay, I'll try it. Podcast for intermediate learners and up. I'm Anthony. If you're trying to improve your English skills, if you're wanting to review English concepts, or if you simply want more exposure for listening practice, then you are in the right place. Today's episode will be on what we call conditionals. What do the following verbs have in common? To suppose, to pretend, to imagine, to consider, to make believe. I'll give you a second to think about it. To suppose, to pretend, to imagine, to consider, to make believe. If you said, they all happen inside your mind, inside your head, they aren't real or in reality, or they are all thoughts or anything like that, then very good. Conditionals are just that. They are thoughts we say out loud. Why do we do this? Well, let's look at two parts of a conditional. Part one is the condition. Part two is the result. To make this as simple as possible, I will only use conditionals beginning with the word if. They are the most common and easy to understand. Part one, the condition, uses the word if. This phrase is, if you like math, the equation. So it is like the x plus 2. Part two is the result. It is the solution. It is what x plus 2 equals. It is the y. Again, if you like math, this will make sense. I like math. Conditionals are used in almost every aspect of our life. How do I get to work faster? How do I get to school the fastest? Or how do I get my cooking to taste better? Did you notice a pattern? What do I have to do to beat this game? What do I have to do to get that promotion? What do I have to do to get an A in my course? In every single one of those questions, we are concerned with the result. We want or we need a specific outcome, a result, but we don't know how to get there. We need to figure out x plus 2 equals 3, but we need to figure out what the x is. So again, all of this is kind of focused on part two, the result. We need a specific result. We want that 3. X plus 2 is 3. We need 3. What do we need to add to 2 to make it equal 3? All right. Now let's focus on part one. When we focus on part one, this is a little bit more playful, kind of like what we do with science. So we're not so worried about the result because we are just curious. What will happen if? Again, science is often thinking in this way. I don't know if I'll enjoy going to China, but if me plus China are added together, what will happen? Or in our personal life, that person is cute, but what are they like? Me plus them equals what? So again, it depends on you. What are you trying to do? So now that it may seem a little bit complicated, so let's start looking at some examples, shall we? First, there are 4 types of conditionals. They all change in complexity, or in other words, how difficult the grammar and thoughts may be to understand. The 4 types are zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, third conditional. Not so bad, right? They're all numbered 0 to 3. Don't ask why. The answer will not be found and you'll just cry in the shower without ever knowing, like me. The zero conditional has both the condition and the result in present simple tense. That's the part 1 and the part 2. As an example, if you push that button, the door opens. If you strike a match, it catches fire. If you stub your toe, it hurts. As you can see, they are all present simple tenses. To push, to open, to strike, to catch, to stub, to hurt. Since we are on the simplest conditional, let me also say that the order of each part doesn't matter. In conditionals, the order of each part doesn't matter. You can have part 1 and then part 2, or you can have a sentence with part 2 and then part 1, the result and then the condition. So the only thing that changes is the focus when you do that. Let's look at the first one. If you push that button, the door opens. We put the focus on the condition because it's important to say what action opens the door. If we turn it around, the door opens if you push that button. We are more concerned with the result because maybe that person thought something else would happen. As another example, think of entering a room and seeing a very big switch on the wall. You know the switch will make something happen, but you want to know what. Don't flip that switch. The couch explodes if you flip that switch. See, the result here is the most important, so we say it first. Okay, the next type is the first conditional. The only change here is the result, that part 2. We still keep the easy condition in present simple tense, but we will change the result to future tense. So instead of, if you push that button, the door opens, where we are just stating simple facts in a more neutral or general way, we are going to add the concept of time, when in the future, the result will happen that may or may not be specified. So let's take, for instance, crossing the street. Have you ever seen a pedestrian crosswalk where you push a button to be allowed to cross? Well, the signal is a red hand showing you cannot cross yet, but we need the signal to show it is safe to cross, right? So the zero conditional can be used because it is a simple fact that if you press that button, the signal changes. But is it immediate? Is the person impatient? Are they American and will walk even if the red hand is showing? Okay, well, we need to comfort the American. Sir, if you push that button, the light will change. Please don't cross yet. If you cross now, I will be on the news. In that example, I used 2 first conditionals. Okay, next is the second conditional. A quick discussion first because we are making the grammar here a bit more difficult. The reason the difficulty is changing in the grammar is because we are making the thought more complex. In the zero conditional, we said we state general facts. They are mostly true. If you pick your nose, it disgusts me. It is generally true and it is a simple statement. Next, we add the concept of time by saying what will happen. However, what happened? Is it now most likely to be true or is it just a possible answer? So think about it. If you push that button, the elevator comes. A zero conditional and generally true. Now, if you push that button, the elevator will come. Since we pushed this into the future, we also made it a possibility. There is a small chance it will not come. You may be wrong. It could be stuck on the 13th floor because a black cat snuck onto the elevator with someone who broke a mirror. To summarize, zero conditional is a general fact. The first conditional is now no longer a fact. It is a possible outcome. So now the second conditional adds to that. The second conditional is not impossible, but it is also not very likely. Since it is not likely, we have to show that by adding the last lesson's modal verbs would or could. So let's look. Part 1, the condition, and part 2, the result. Before we had the condition as present simple, but now we are going to slide it into the past. The result is could or would plus the infinitive of the verb. The infinitive sounds complex and it's harder to say, but it is just the normal version of the verb without the word to. So to eat, to dance, to smile, to kick. We remove the word to and add could or would. Could eat, would dance, could smile, would kick. So see, it's not too difficult. And that's kind of how you start setting up the result part of the second conditional. So let's start small and build the second conditional with something our parents have all said to us. If you studied harder, you would pass your classes. We know we aren't currently passing because by using the word would, it has become imaginary. This hints at the fact that we are not passing. It is not impossible to still pass or achieve a passing grade now or in the future, but it also doesn't seem very likely. So, dear listener, if you won $1 million, what would you buy? You might say something very expensive that isn't very likely for you right now, right? It also isn't impossible. If I was born better looking, I would date a famous actress. See, not very likely, but it's not impossible. There is still a chance I find a famous actress who is blind or has very low standards. Finally, let's look at the last conditional, the third conditional. This is by far the most complex, and the result is now impossible. The conditional is usually used to say things that could have been. Using the same example of studying harder and passing, we will push it all into the past now. Instead of, if you studied harder, you would pass your class, where there is still a small chance we could somehow pass that class. We move it all into the past, making the situation now impossible. This conditional is often used to show regret. So for example, if I had known she would break my heart, I would not have dated her. Sniffle, sniffle. If I had worked harder, I would have kept my job. Regret. But we can also use this conditional to go the other way. So instead of regret, we can show relief. Things almost ended up bad with the sniffle and regret. But we saved ourselves in the last second. If I had not found out she cheated, I would have married her. Phew. If I had gone to that party with you, I would have been arrested too. Wow, that was close. Did you note how complex this grammar is? The third conditional is not easy for intermediate learners. Part 1, the condition uses past perfect simple. Had known, had worked, had not found, had gone. Part 2, the result uses could or would plus the present perfect simple. Present perfect simple uses have plus the past participle. Would not have dated, would have kept, would have married, would have been. All right, in our story today, we have two male friends at work. As friends do, they joke around, but also discuss more serious things while they do. I'm choosing male friends because I'm male, okay? So this podcast is still too new to make women mad at me for creating pretend stories about them that are not accurate. So maybe in the future, okay? So let's start. Hey, what's going on, new tie? If you touch me, you die. Whoa, so serious. If I don't touch you, will you ever know human contact? Are you even gonna go on a date? If I only focused on going on dates, I would live with my parents too. You need to work harder. I'm moving out soon, okay? Why would I say no to free food and no rent? How do you trick anyone into dating you? Are you wanting advice? Ha, ha, ha. Yes, I'm very funny. Look, I know. If I worked harder, I could make more money or get a better position, but life is about balance. Exactly, balance. Work hard now and then play later. Be grumpy now, be happy later. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee. You might be grumpy later. I'm not grumpy. You're not happy. Oh, hey, did I tell you? I ran into that girl from the 7th floor you like. Uh-huh. Yeah, see, I have your attention now. Okay. If you want, I'll talk to her for you. If I thought I had a chance, I would talk to her myself. You do have a chance. Look, just like how we got along, or look, just how like we get along because we're different people. Good, long relationships are the same way. You just need a chance, I think. If I had known working here had so many distractions, I would have gotten a job working from home. Do you want to meet her or not? You know I'm close friends with her brother. Yes, please. All right, so yes, this is short dialogue, but feel free to play that dialogue as much as you need to. See if you can find all the examples yourself and if you can figure out which type of conditional it is. For now, let's go in order. So, 0 conditional. If you touch me, you die. Of course, this is a joke, yet the grammar is simple and it is a generally true statement. The dying part isn't the true statement, but the meaning behind it is. He doesn't like to be touched. If we take out the joke and replace it with its true meaning, you'll see for yourself that it is a generally true statement. If you touch me, I am unhappy. Or to make it even more correct, since the focus is on the result, I am unhappy if people touch me. Therefore, I am unhappy if you touch me. So the next example I'll pull from the dialogue is for the first conditional. If you want, I will talk to her for you. Here, we don't need to change the order because the result isn't the focus. The question is on whether man B, the grumpy guy, wants that to happen. If he doesn't want him to, he won't talk to her. The entire result depends on wanting or not wanting. So we put the part first because it's the most important part. This is a very common conditional, especially when we are offering something or wanting to be nice. If you don't want me here, I will leave. If you want to go to the party, I'll talk to the host. The next one is the second conditional. The example I grabbed for this one is, if I only focused on going on dates, I would live with my parents too. He doesn't live with his parents now, and it is very unlikely he will live with his parents now or in the future. However, it is not impossible. People lose their jobs all the time without doing anything wrong, and sometimes a parent's health gets so bad, a child moves back to take care of them. So it is not impossible. In this conditional, Grumpy Man B is making a point by using this conditional. Having a good job requires effort. So we can restate it. If I do not work seriously, I would make less money. And to add on, if I made less money, it would be harder to live alone. Both are examples of the second conditional and shows how he thinks. Finally, the third conditional. The example here from the dialogue is, if I had known working here had so many distractions, I would have gotten a job working from home. Sniffle, sniffle. Of course, again, he is exaggerating to make a point and to make a joke. His tone is more serious than his friend's, but he doesn't truly feel that way. Either way, this whole statement is imaginary. All of it is impossible. If he had worked from home, he would have never known the job had distractions. By the way, that was also a third conditional. He also cannot go back into the past and choose to work from home. That isn't possible. So to go through them again, I'll say each one of those examples in order from 0 to third. So 0 conditional. If you touch me, you die. Touch, die. Both present tense. First conditional. If you want, I will talk to her for you. Want. That's present tense. Will talk. Future. Then the second conditional. If I only focused on going on dates, I would live with my parents too. All right. Third conditional. If I had known working here had so many distractions, I would have gotten a job working from home. All right, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you want extra practice, listen to the episode again. Write down each time you hear me say if and what is said after it. See if you can decide which type of conditional it is, and then underline the grammar to prove yourself right. Message me if you want feedback. Thanks again for listening, and so long.